Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We're matchy today.
We
I
do
just
that.
noticed. Life and times of Tracy and Carissa.
It's funny how many times we match because we never talk about what we're wearing.
No,
and that's the fun part of it. Is like, are we going to clash today? And the answer is always no.
Yeah, today is perfect, pretty much.
I know, like especially you see us on screen, like we look the same. It's amazing.
Anyway, we're happy to have you with us on SoulSpace Podcast.
Yep, it's another exciting Tuesday.
Yeah, today new theme today. It's August, so we're doing facing our shadows this month. That'll be good. And I think a lot of people are going through the same energy right now. It's kind of, I want to say the F word, but
it's kind of different.
Yeah.
In Minnesota speak, we would say it's different.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
Maybe not a preferred experience.
Right.
Is that how we should?
Maybe.
The experience of the energy right now is not everybody's preference.
No, it's not.
It's a little bit of a ride,
Yeah.
A little up and down.
Yeah. So we're going to face those shadows and get rid of that energy, right?
We're going to start talking about today. Our theme is I am in control.
Yes.
Because we are.
We are. Even if we forget that sometimes, we are. So, yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that brings up a lot of those feelings that we talk about shadows. We talk about the fear and anxiety and those types of feelings. A lot of those come out of that feeling of not being in control.
Yeah.
And when we remember that we are deliberate creators in control of our experiences, and that we can begin to change and mold them into more of what we do want again, knowing that we are empowered to do that can help us to begin to face those feelings when they come up, and face the shadow parts of ourselves that tell us that we can't, we're not good enough, or we don't have enough tools, or whatever it tries to tell us.
All of the things.
And we can begin to face that down. And begin to move forward towards more of our deliberate creation again, especially when we feel that way. It can be harder to do that. So we're just going to kind of talk about some of that.
Yeah, if we could only remember that in the moment when we're in the middle of the shadow facing. But like always, it's a practice, and we can pivot out of it.
Right. And there's lots of things that we can do to remind ourselves.
Excuse me.
To remind ourselves also, that we are in control.
Right.
One of the things that people really like to do is sticky notes.
Yeah.
Of affirmations or reminders or things that they want to say to themselves. And that can be a good one, is I am in control.
Yeah. Just having that reminder once in a while when you put it somewhere where you see it all the time. I've heard people get tattoos of things that they want to see all the time there, and Mind Trainer helps a lot with that.
Right.
We talked about that on a meeting yesterday with Mind Trainer, and just how you notice after using it for a while, when different things that you face, and you notice, wow, before I would have been blown up at this, I would have been freaking out right now. And I'm not. I'm able to stay calmer. So anyway, different topic for a different day, but true.
It's another tool in our toolbox.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we have so many good ones that we can use. You can tap it out just by sitting there tapping and thinking about what you're going through at the moment, and get rid of that right away, or even just taking a deep breath while you're in the muck of it. That helps. Just quiet your mind for a second and give yourself time to adjust to, okay, where am I at? And asking the question, where am I at? Where are my emotions right now? What am I feeling?
Where am I at, and where do I want to be? Where am I in relation to that, so I know where to go from here?
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. it's fun. It brings a reminder. The other day, I think it was over the weekend, Sunday or Saturday night, I think we watched 72 Hours, the new Kevin Hart movie.
Oh,
He's hilarious, and
yeah,
the
he's
movie
funny.
that he is in is hilarious.
He's a good actor too.
He's really good. And anyway, they talked about the feelings always. That was a question. Okay, how are you feeling now? Where are your feelings at right now? And I thought it was cool that they brought that into a comedy movie.
Mm.
And it is true that we think about that more often these days than we used to when I was, he was playing an older guy, like in his 40s, I think. And his peers, the guys that he was hanging out with in this movie, were all in their 20s or something, pushing 30. But so he felt like an old guy with them. But anyway, they were always talking about feelings, and he's like, I don't talk about my feelings, and I don't want to wreck the movie, but it's really funny. And it was cool to hear that and bringing it up. And, now we talk about mental health a lot more than we used to. And it's a lot more, we deal with it better. I think we have different tools and more tools to deal with things nowadays than we did before. When I was growing up, you didn't talk about it ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody talked about anything.
I don't recall a time when somebody asked me how I felt.
No,
when I was a kid.
It didn't matter how you felt. You were just doing what everybody else did.
How are you feeling right now? It's not a question I ever can recall hearing as a child.
No. No, that wasn't a thing at all. And we lived through it, but
living through it isn't thriving either.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. And a lot of people have to fix everything now that they're adults that they, didn't face when you were a kid. So yeah, hopefully the next generations don't have to do that as much.
I hope it gets better and better.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to be getting better and better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
At least we're opening up the conversation.
Right.
Nothing
At
else.
least people are talking about it where they didn't before. So yeah, it's all good.
It's good. Thanks. Well, today is going to be exciting because, of course, if you've been watching our podcast for a while, or even if you haven't, we talk a lot about being a deliberate creator and how we are in control of our lives and our environment, and we get to choose what we do with our lives, which direction we're going at any given moment. And it's kind of a big deal to realize that, because once you realize that, then you can't not do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, once you know, and after that, you can't unknow it. You're in control.
Right.
And, not every experience you have is going to be one that you expected or that is preferred.
Right.
But you have a choice of where you go from each and every given moment. And so it's kind of fun to be able to talk about that because, even I still have those moments where I'm triggered by something, right? I mean, just today I was taking deep breaths because I was feeling those feelings of anxiousness and being anxious about things. And so there were times when I took a moment, took a deep breath, and said to myself, literally, I am in control. Everything is working out for me. It's going to be fine. And then I would just continue with what I was doing. And there have been a couple times recently where something has come up that's triggered me unexpectedly. And I think it's because things are coming up for me to keep letting go of them. And that's just how things go when you're healing and continuing to move forward, as things come up from the past that kind of trigger you. And you're like, oh man, unexpectedly. And these are actually things that I have said to myself, especially in those big trigger moments where I go into like flight or fight mode.
Yeah.
And so when you do that, when that happens, when your other brain takes over, one thing that I did is I was taking deep breaths to calm down my autonomic system, and then reminding myself, saying to myself, I am in control. I get to choose what happens.
Yeah.
I am in control. I get to choose. I am in control. I get to choose. And helped bring myself back up to a space where I could, begin doing my other tools again.
Sure.
Because when you're in that point where you're super anxious or you're in a lot of fear or something like that, you're not in your logical thinking brain.
Right.
And so it's about moving yourself back into that so you can begin to use your other tools again once your autonomic system is calmed.
Yeah. If you can stop that spiral at any time.
And that's it, is catching the spiral early.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big thing.
That's really good. And, the more you use the tools, the easier it gets. So you don't have to go down those slippery slopes all the way to the bottom.
No.
You can
Don't
stop
go to
yourself
the bottom.
midway. Yeah.
You have brakes. Pump the brakes,
yeah,
friends.
Right. Yeah. So important. And it's possible you can get there, and it just takes practice and using the tools that you've learned to better yourself and work with those things that happen a lot easier or a lot quicker.
Right. And the thing is if you're using the tools that help you, they're on the edge of your mind.
Right.
Because you just use it, or you just practice it, or you just thought about the different ways that you can help yourself if something happens. And so with that practice, it keeps you sharp on those things too. And so they do come to mind. And that's one of the reasons for me, it's easy for me to pull myself back out before I do spiral. Because going all the way to the bottom isn't fun. None of us likes that.
No.
And this is real. This is real life.
Yeah.
And it happens to us just like it happens to you. And that's why, we talk about our experiences too. So you realize like these are things that we are doing every single day.
Yeah.
And these are things that we are teaching you to practice every single day because they're going to help you, just like they've helped us. And so that's how we're talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's important to remember that everyone's in a different place at all times in your life. And nobody's perfect. Even the person that is a coach or a psychiatrist or a mentor or anything, nobody's perfect, and everybody is just doing the best they can with what they know. Right. So don't ever think that, oh, that person has life so perfect. They don't. Nobody has the perfect life or knows what to do in every situation, or it's all a learning process. And that's what we're on earth for, is to learn.
And grow. And we all have our own growth points too. And things that we're really good at and things that we aren't. And so, and those are things that we're working on. So it's kind of cool to think about. I appreciate you brought that up because everybody has their own things that they're working on.
Right. Yeah.
No matter what it looks like from the outside. So remembering all of us are human, having a human experience. And that also helps us to also forgive other people when they might do something that's a little obtuse.
Right. Yeah. And we can get in our own heads and forget that, hey, other people are having a bad time too. It's just not
it's not just me.
Yeah. Other people are struggling at points too. Thank God we're not all doing it at the same time. But
not everybody all at once.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oof, let's not do that.
Yeah. So let's see what Abraham has to say about this. I love this book.
Yes. I brought back one of my favorites because we both love this book. Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Hicks is what we're going to be chatting about today, besides as part of our topic.
Yeah.
And if you do have this book, which I hope you do by now, because come on.
Yeah.
I'm in chapter 12, which for this version of the book is page 59. So you should be either that or pretty close to it.
Yeah.
And chapter 12 is entitled, Your Emotional Set Points Are Within Your Control. And so remember, your emotional set point is where your emotions are at any given moment. Right. And so every time you go up the emotional scale, like we've talked about before, that increases your emotional set point. So like, even if you go up, your set point is higher. If you go down, your set point is easier to get back to. Your emotional set points are within your control. Most people do not believe that they have control over what they believe. Let me say that again, because that's an important statement. Most people do not believe they have control over what they believe.
Right.
That's a big statement, friends.
That is big. You might want to read that one again.
Yeah. Most people do not believe that they have control over what they believe. And if you guys have been watching us for a while, you know that you do. And you have ways to begin to change your belief structure to what you consciously know and want it to be. They observe things happening around them and evaluate them, but they usually feel that they have no control whatsoever about the belief that is formulating within them. They spend their lives sorting events into categories of good and bad, wanted or unwanted, right or wrong, but rarely do they understand that they have the ability to control their personal relationship with these events. So, what Abraham is telling you right there is that when things are happening around you and you're experiencing things in the right now, you have control over whether the right now continues in that direction or doesn't. So you have control over the right now and the future, depending on what you do want and what you don't want.
Yeah.
But your belief that you have no control over what's happening around you and in your personal experience is what holds you back from being able to control it.
So good.
I mean, that one tiny little paragraph is like packed with good stuff.
It really is. You know, yeah, we just have to remember that when we're going through it, and that's the hardest part.
Right.
But
is this what's happening right now in my life, what I want?
Yeah.
In all the ways? Yes or no?
Right.
If not, then I know where do I want to go from here.
And to really think about that a lot throughout your day. Where do I want to be? Where do I want to go right now? You know, what is my bigger plan? We don't think of that enough, I don't think. You know, we get stuck here in the muck of it, and we forget that, oh yeah, I was going here. This isn't my end point right here, you know. I have something bigger and broader that I'm working towards.
Right. And your experience right now tells you where your emotional set point in your vibration was right before that.
Yeah.
So you can know, okay, is what I'm experiencing right now what I want? And if not, that means that I was in the vibration that matched that before that. So am I moving in the direction of what I want? Is it getting better?
Yeah.
Or am I moving away from it and things are getting worse?
Right.
Where am I going? And where do I want to be?
Yeah. And all you have to do is choose.
You get to choose that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to go backwards. You can go forward always.
Right. And people are like, oh, I don't have to choose to just write it out. No, you don't have to just write it out. No, you can act from that moment of recognizing that you're in a vibration that you don't want and move towards one that you do.
Yeah.
Improve it right then.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, in the moment. You don't have to wait. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to wait till somebody else feels better. No. Right then.
Yeah.
Right then.
Yeah.
I love Abraham. They are so wonderful and intelligent and loving.
Yeah.
It is possible to control conditions that others have created. Interesting, right? Since many people approve of some of the conditions that others have created but disapprove of others, they set out on the impossible mission of trying to control conditions. Through personal force or strength, or gathering together in groups to gain the feeling of more power or control, they seek to preserve their own well-being by attempting to take control of any circumstances that they believe could threaten it. But in this attraction-based universe where there is no such thing as exclusion, the harder they push against unwanted things, the more they achieve vibrational alignment with unwanted things. And in doing so, the more they invite unwanted things into their own experience. What you push against, you get more of.
Right.
And that's a basic principle of the law of attraction. And as more unwanted things now manifest in their experience, they shore up their own belief. They prove it to themselves that they were right all along about how bad and invasive that unwanted thing was to begin with. In other words, the more you defend your own beliefs, the more the law of attraction helps you live them out. this is an action-packed section, you guys.
It is.
Like, you say that unwanted thing is horrible and nobody should ever do this or experience this or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go out and you push others into trying to get them to agree or believe in it or take action or do whatever, and you push and you push and you push and push, and then you get more of that experience and more of that experience and more of that. You create momentum of that unwanted thing coming up more and more and more in your life, and you're so worked up about it that it just keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming, because the universe is like, oh, you want more of that, we can do that. Here's more. Here's some more. Here's some more things to get mad about that are similar. Do you want those too? And then we'll send this, and then we'll oh, you guys, if you want something to not be in your experience or something to lessen in the general overall experience of all, then allow it to be and focus on what you do want.
Right.
Because the more you push and push and push and push and push and try to push that away, it's like pushing back. Here it comes. Here it comes. You want that. You're attracting this. Oh my gosh. You know, once you can get that concept, it can change your whole life.
It can. And I have been doing really good with that lately. You know, when I catch myself trying to push things into what I want to make them, you know, I catch myself right away and think about what it is that I want in the end.
Right.
And it has helped so much. For the last, I don't know, month or so, I've been really working on that, and it's been good. So, yeah.
And the more you think about something, the more you get it, right?
Yeah.
What you get, what you focus on is like the one of the most basic premises of this whole deal.
Right.
Is like, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on what you do want or what you don't want?
Yeah.
And they're talking about focusing on the lack of what you want.
Yeah.
Of what you don't want.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of people focus on what they don't want because they're in it. But we just have to switch that one little rule, that one little, not rule, the one little thing that we do, and not stay in that, you know.
And they're like, if I don't focus on it though, it's going to keep happening.
Right. No.
Opposite. And that one is really hard for people sometimes, especially on big topics.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's something to think about for your own life. If focusing on something unwanted makes it bigger, we can focus on what we do want instead and make that bigger instead. So a solution to a problem will be much more effective than focusing on the problem, right? Especially when we're talking about like huge human issues. Okay, so focusing on the problem doesn't create the solution, but we focus on towards the solution and the vibration of the solution and what we do want. That brings about that solution, right? Especially into the mass consciousness. And isn't that what we really want? Right? We don't want the continuation of the problem. We want the beginning of the solution. Yeah. So if you can kind of frame it to your mind in that way, it'll help you a lot.
It will. Yeah. And it can be so easy if we let it. Yeah. Our minds have tried to make it harder than it has to be. So yeah, just remember that when you're going through a tough situation, it doesn't have to be that tough. We can allow it to be easier. We can back off a little bit and think about what we want and how we want things to go, and we'll get there.
How can I get back in alignment with the solution to this problem rather than staying in alignment with the problem?
Being solution minded rather than focusing on the struggle.
Right.
Yep. Awesome.
Oh my gosh. 2 paragraphs, you guys. Okay, here comes the third. You ready? But whose truth is the true truth? This is
another good question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
With enough attention to anything, the essence of what you have been giving thought to will eventually become a physical manifestation. And then, as others observe your physical manifestation, through their attention to it, they help it to expand. And then, in time, this manifestation, whether it is one that is wanted or not, is called truth. We want you to remember that you have absolute choices about the truths that you create in your own experience. Once you understand that the only reason anyone ever experiences anything is because of their attention to the subject, then it is easy to see that truth only exists because someone gave their attention to it. So when you say, I should give my attention to such and such because it is true, that is the same thing as saying, another gave their attention to something that they did not want, and by their attention to it, they have invited it into their experience. And since they have attracted something unwanted into their experience, I should do it also. It sounds crazy when you put it that way, doesn't
it? Yeah. Yeah. No, don't do that.
Yeah, but that's what
That
we do.
is what we do.
That's like that generational stuff that comes up for us.
Yeah.
Well, my parents said it was hard to make money, so then I also put my attention on the fact that it's hard to make money, even though I hadn't had any evidence in my life to that except for my parents' experience because they believed that it was hard.
Right.
That's that same thought pattern.
That's a big one for a lot of people.
Oh, it sure is.
Especially this generation, that like my grandparents went through the Depression. So of course they learned that it was hard and we learned that it was hard. Yeah.
And everybody continues, some of those thought patterns that are only true because they believe that they're true, because they're giving their attention to the fact that they believe that it's true, and their mind keeps coming back to that truth. And so they keep having that experience because it's in the truth, creating their experience, but it doesn't have to be true for them. It doesn't need to continue as an experience.
Yeah.
It's a thought pattern.
Yeah. And I feel like we have repeated history so many times, but I also feel that now it's starting to change a little. I think enough people now know that we don't have to keep repeating that over and over. But
starting to shift.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And you get to choose that too. Do you want to shift out of those continual patterns or do you not?
Yeah, we can each shift that in our own lives. We don't have to follow the norm, if people think of it as that, or we don't have to be a sheeple and follow the leader, like in traffic when everyone on the whole road is driving in the left lane and the right lane's empty all the way up. We don't have to do that in our lives. So think about that, when you get in that point where you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
You can switch it up.
You can choose different. You don't have to choose the same thing over and over. If you're not enjoying it. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why would you?
If you're enjoying it, by all means, keep doing it over. But
if you're not enjoying it, what's the point?
Right. Yeah. You don't have to.
The point. No, there is no have to. There are no have tos. At the very basic of piece of your being, there's no have to anything.
No, I love that.
And that makes me happy.
Yeah, because that feels good.
I really like I don't have to.
Yeah.
I get to choose.
You're not the boss of me.
Yeah.
I
Kids know that truth
all the time. You're not the boss of me.
Yeah. Kids know that truth.
They do.
You're not the boss of me.
Kids know that for sure. And for some reason, the elders beat it out of them. Not physically.
Not literally beat it out of them,
but you
mentally.
Yeah.
They do. They tell them,
yeah,
I am the boss of you. And they believe that. And then they have to believe everything that their parents say.
Yeah.
That's tough. But at the same time, kids need guidance, but you don't need to beat the independence out of them.
Yeah. No. There was a book, really good one. Wayne Dyer used to talk about that, and he raised his kids that way. And I really think that is a good teaching point for new parents. Yeah. I'll have to figure out what book that is because I think I have it.
Cool.
That he talks about it. Yeah.
That'd be cool to bring up.
Yeah.
During this month.
Yeah, it would.
Because children struggle with this stuff just as much as we do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, really. It's,
Especially teenagers, they feel their feelings.
yeah. Yeah, and they don't
So
know
strong.
how to handle them yet. They don't know. I mean, even as adults, we don't always know.
Oh, there's so many adults that don't know how to deal with their feelings either. True. But the
Yeah,
younger we learn it, the more capable we
right.
can be of, being the deliberate creator we want to be in our life.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah. They need to teach this stuff in school.
Oh
Sorry,
gosh, I wish.
not sorry.
I wonder, you know what? Let's begin just saying that they will teach this in school one day.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll find a way, right?
right.
We'll
Find a way.
find a way.
Yeah.
There are so many wonderful things that you are making your truths, and there are so many not so wonderful things that you are making your truths. Deliberate creation is about deliberately choosing those experiences. You make your truths.
Mm,
So you
that's
get to
good.
choose what's true for you.
Yeah,
And that's something I live by every day.
yeah.
Like, does it resonate with me or not?
Mm-hmm.
Is it true for me or not? Do I want that to be a truth for me or not?
Right.
I get to choose that.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is an empowering feeling.
That is very empowering. Okay, your point of attraction is being affected. When your activated thoughts are general and not very focused, those early vibrations are still very small and do not yet have much attraction power or pulling power, so to speak. And so, in these early stages, you would not likely see any manifested evidence of your attention to the subject. And that's important to remember. Things don't happen all the time on our timeline. We have to allow the universe to work on it for us and to bring it when the best time would be for us.
And our job is to stay in alignment with it.
Yeah.
Until that point comes.
Yeah, exactly.
As much as possible, anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're not perfect.
No, we're not. But even though you do not yet see the evidence, the attraction of other thoughts that are a vibrational match to these is occurring. In other words, the thought is becoming stronger. Its pulling power is getting stronger. And the other similar thought vibrations are joining it. And as the thought gains momentum, you now begin to get an emotional reading on how well this growing thought vibration is matching the energy of your source. If it matches who you are, your good feeling emotions indicate that. And you'll notice that if you're out and about, you can feel if you're not in a place that matches your vibration, or you're around people that don't match your vibration. You'll feel that in your body.
Yeah, a lot of times it comes up as like discomfort or a feeling of like, oh, should I be here, or do I belong here, or what's going on around me? Something's off.
Yeah.
You'll feel a difference there. And whether it's now, you would usually be like someone is at a lower emotional set point than you. At a higher emotional set point, you might be like also discomfort, or you could be like, oh, what's going on here? Am I missing something?
Yeah.
It feels kind of nice. Like, who's around? Like, somebody feels good around here. What's happening? You might feel that attractive versus repellent.
Yeah, because you've been working on being in that place instead of the other place. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, if it does not match who you are, your bad feeling emotions indicate that. For example, when you were little, your grandmother may have said to you, "You are such a wonderful child. I love you so very much. You will have a fulfilling and happy life. You have so many talents, and the world will benefit by your presence." These words felt good because they were a vibrational match to what was at the very core of you. But when someone says to you, "You are bad, you should be ashamed of yourself, you have displeased me, you are inappropriate," these words feel awful because your attention to them has caused you to become vibrationally different from who you really are and who you really know.
Even listening to that felt awful.
Yeah.
Like the first one, oh, it does feel good. The second, I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like how it felt. Even we're not even saying it
Right,
to someone.
right.
Like
Just reading about it.
I just felt the vibration of those words. It's,
Yeah.
ooh, I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So watch your words when they come out, when you're talking to someone, even if you're just joking or saying something that you don't really truly mean, but it's demeaning. Watch your words, because that is going into somebody's subconscious. You don't want to say things like that, even if you don't mean them, because that's being true. I mean, someone might take that as true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, the way you feel is a clear and accurate indication of your alignment or misalignment with your source energy. In other words, your emotions let you know if you are allowing or if you are in a current state of resistance to your connection with source. I love that. And, we call that source, God, creator, whatever you call that energy within that gives you that life. That's what we're talking about. You want to be in tune with that, and you want to feel that energy more and more and more.
Right.
And that you will be happier and happier.
Right. And we all want to be happier.
Yeah.
If you ask anyone what
Yeah.
they want, the core of it will be happiness.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
happiness, more joy.
Yeah. It always boils down to feeling good.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. So moods as indicators of your emotional set points. When you continue to focus upon any thought, it becomes increasingly easy to continue to focus upon it, because the law of attraction is making more thoughts like it available to you. And so, emotionally speaking, you are developing a mood or an attitude. Vibrationally speaking, you are achieving a habitual vibrational groove, so to speak, or a set point. Your mood is showing you a good representation of what you are inviting into your experience. Your mood or your general feeling about something is a clear indication of your practiced vibration. In other words, whenever any subject is activated within you through your exposure to your environment, your vibration jumps immediately to your most practiced vibrational place or set point. So that's important to remember, because you can raise that set point.
Yes.
And sometimes we forget about that. We think we're stuck at a certain level, and we're not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. What vibration are you practicing most? Because
Right.
that's where you're going to end up again if you're not paying attention. So
Yeah.
do you want that to be a higher set point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why when we are working with someone or being around someone, you never want to go down to what level they're at, if they're at a lower vibration, or if they're mad or crabby or whatever. You always want to help them, lend a hand up, like they say. You always want to bring them up to a better vibration.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For example, let us say that when you were a child, your parents experienced severe financial difficulty. And so the lack of money and the inability to purchase desired things was often discussed in your home, with the accompanying emotions of worry and fear. Often, in response to your request for something, you were told that money doesn't grow on trees, and that just because you want it doesn't mean you'll get it, and that you, like everyone else in this family, should learn to do without. That is just the way it is. Because of years of exposure to these thoughts of lack, your habit of thought around the subject of money, your emotional set point, became one of low expectation of financial success. And so whenever you thought about money or abundance, your mood or attitude would immediately shift to disappointment, worry, or anger. Or when you were a child, maybe your friend's mother was killed in an automobile accident, and then Your close association with someone who was experiencing such severe childhood trauma made you fearful for the well-being of your own parents. Whenever they traveled somewhere by automobile, you would be gripped by fear until they returned. And so, bit by bit, you developed a habit of worry about the well-being of those you loved. Your emotional set point became that of insecurity. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Or when you were a teenager, perhaps your grandmother suddenly died of a heart attack. And then the years that followed her death, you often heard your mother expressing her concern about the high probability of the same thing happening to her and her children, including you. Nearly every time any conversation about your grandmother came up, her untimely heart attack became an emotional and fear-producing part of the conversation. Even though your body was strong and you continued to feel physically good, a concern about your own physical vulnerability rumbled under the surface. And so over time, you achieved an emotional set point of physical vulnerability. Makes sense.
It does. Your emotional set points can be changed.
Yes.
In the same way that your emotional set points can change from feeling basically good or secure to feeling bad or insecure, your set points can change from not feeling good to feeling good. For your set points are achieved simply by attention to a subject and through your practice thought.
Yeah.
Right? However, most people do not deliberately offer thought, but instead they let their thoughts gravitate to whatever is happening around them. Something happens. They observe. They have an emotional feeling response to what they're observing. And since they usually feel powerless in controlling what they're observing, they conclude that they have no control over their emotional response to what they're observing. It's a very circular argument, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the question.
So that's how they say that we are kind of running by default.
Yeah.
Something happens, we observe it, we have a response to it, and then we go, well, I have no control over what's happening around me. And then we practice that thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
But is that what you want?
Right.
If not, you can change it.
Yes, absolutely.
You do not have to create by default. That is the whole premise of our own existence.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We want you to understand that you do not have absolute, wait, pause. I'll read that again. We want you to understand that you do have absolute control over the set points that you achieve. And we want you to understand the extreme value in deliberately achieving your own set points. Because once you expect something, it will come. The details of it may play out differently, but the vibrational essence will always be an exact match.
Yes. Yes.
And that's one thing to think about. Okay, so people say, well, when I was thinking about this one thing that I wanted, I had all these specifics of exactly how I wanted it to play out and what I wanted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what they got was the vibrational match to what they asked for, or even better.
Yeah.
And so what they're not considering is that, okay, that exact thing that you wanted, this might be even better. And you might see that on the next step.
Yeah.
Or this might be the way to the exact thing that you wanted.
Right.
Step 1, step 2, step 3. This one is closer to what you want. It's what you're allowing in.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why when you are thinking about the things that you want, we don't have to be so exact. Mostly think about how you want to feel. It's the feeling that gets you there. And it's the feeling is what you want, actually, not the thing. Right.
And the feeling is what's telling you what your vibration is and what you're getting in return. Right?
Yes. Yes.
So exciting.
Yeah.
So this chapter was full of little Easter eggs.
A lot
to dig into.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like you could do a whole podcast on just one of those little paragraph.
Yeah.
Probably have.
That was jam-packed. Yeah. And it's so important to just remember that you have a choice. You choose the way you want to feel. I got goosebumps everywhere. You're not stuck ever.
You're always moving.
Right.
And what direction are you moving in?
Yeah.
Your emotions will tell you, am I moving away from where I want to be, or am I moving toward what I want?
Right.
My emotions tell me, am I in lack of what I want, or am I in abundance of what I want?
Yeah.
Where am I
Which
on that
way do you
scale?
want to go? And think about that. I don't think we think about enough what we really want.
No, we don't.
We go about our business and do what we have to do on a daily basis, and we don't think about, what do I really want?
You know what I hear every single day where I work? Every day from this person, that person, a lot of people, I probably say it myself.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be that. When you say it is what it is, usually you're saying something is happening around me that isn't preferred, and I'm just accepting it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
No.
You don't have to do that. I even say it and I catch myself saying it and I go, oh.
Yeah.
Is it though? Is it what it is? Well, what is it that I do want? Because obviously what's happening right now is not my actual preference. If I'm saying that, where do I want to go from here? Where am I at and where do I want to go?
Yeah.
And that's a question I ask myself a lot. Where am
Right.
I at right now? Is it where I want to be?
Yeah.
If not, where do I want to go from here?
Yeah. And you just have to decide what that is that you want. It doesn't have to be 20 years down the road. What do I want next week?
What do I want in the next 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, what do I want in the next 5 minutes?
Right.
I want to feel better in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Great. How can I begin to achieve that?
Right.
I've decided to have it. What feels a little bit better?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, thinking of a week or a day or 5 years or 10, 20 years down the road is great.
Yeah.
But when you're in the muck right now, what do I want in the next 5 minutes?
Right.
Could be something really helpful to ask yourself.
Yeah. And it is. And it'll get you moving in that direction that you want to go instead of staying there.
It's moving forward, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 So good. Such a good conversation today. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, this topic is going to be such a fun one because we can take it in so many different directions. And we'd love to hear your ideas and things that popped up for you or inspiration that you had while we were talking.
Yeah.
So feel free to leave us a comment below about the things that this kind of brought up for you, made you think about, or ideas that you have to share with the other people who are kind of on this journey, all of us together.
Right.
We'd love to hear from you. But
yeah,
we're so excited about this month. The month of August is going to be a great one.
Yeah. I always love August for some reason. It's just, summer starts to wind down. Kids go back to school towards the end of the month, or, maybe the first week in September or whatever. But it temps kind of cool off a little bit. Well, we've had such hot weather this summer, but it's just, I think, it feels like a beginning month where you can start to plan and start to, summer we relax and kind of forget about things, and now it's time to get back to work.
And again, jump starts the rest of the year.
Right. Yeah. It feels like an energizing, exciting month.
Yeah, like it kind of everything starts gearing back up,
know? Yeah. It's awesome. I love it. All right. So Carissa, where can we find you? And do you have anything exciting coming up?
Well, you can find me on Facebook at Light of Hope Healing. That's probably the easiest way. I have the link to my Square site there, which is light-of-hope-healing.square.site. Good luck remembering that. Go to my Facebook page. You can also find us collectively at our SoulSpace on Facebook and at SoulSpace Podcast here on YouTube. Would be a great place for you to find us. And I do have some expos coming up real soon here. Awesome. I have the Soul to Spirit Expo in Deadwood happening early this year. It's going to be that Saturday right before Labor Day.
Awesome.
So that's going to be so fun. We're so excited to come to Deadwood. I love being in Deadwood. So all my Deadwood friends, come see me. I'd love to see you. And then I have 2 more expos coming up. I believe both of them are in November in Fargo and Bismarck. So I'll be there at the Soul Spirit Expos for that as well. So I have that coming up. And there's tons of things happening behind the scenes right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited to share those as I kind of get those all put together. You guys will start to see some of those fun things come to fruition, and we'll talk about that on other podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. Generating things, getting things new going, new things going.
And we do have something really exciting coming up this Friday with Mind Trainer Pro, and we'd love to invite people to.
Yeah.
It's a free opportunity that's going to be super cool to learn more about it without any selling or whatever. We're just going to talk about it and let you learn all the things, and a Q&A with the people that create it. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah, you can meet the creator of it, Maury, and learn from he has a mission on Earth, and it's so cool to be a part of it. And you'll get to hear him and talk about why he created Mind Trainer and all the things. And there's even going to be a fun gift at the end.
Yeah, you can start training your brain.
Yeah, it's training your brain. And we talked about Mind Trainer for a month.
We did. Mind Trainer Pro, it's called.
Yeah. So it's a really cool tool that does so much for our mind. Something that we don't have to think of as hard to train anymore. It can be much easier than we thought previously. So that's on Friday. You can message us and get the link for that Friday at noon Central Time.
And it's Friday, August 7th.
August 7th, yeah. If you're seeing this late.
If you're seeing this later.
Another one sometimes, so message us anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're going to start doing them regularly, I think.
Yeah, and we have other things that you could come
that we
to
share with us. Yeah, with you.
Yeah, because we have Mondays with Maury also.
Yeah, Mondays with
where we all just kind of, whatever questions you have, you can ask in the moment, and he'll answer them, and we can all talk as a group about different things. And
that's really cool.
People are allowed to come to that too, and I'll chat. You don't have to be a paid member to do that either. So we have tons of opportunity to learn more and talk about it and find out how it's changing all of our lives.
Right.
And it's just amazing. I mean, the more that I've been using it, the better and better I feel, and the more changes that are happening. Oh my gosh, I'm just thrilled.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And a lot of the changes are subtle and you don't really notice them, but then you think, wow, I handled that like a champ.
Right.
And where before it would have blew me off the map,
Or people that bring it up for you on podcasts.
Yeah.
In front of everybody.
Yeah.
But road rage.
Yeah, like what happened to that? So anyway, it's all good. And you can find me at inspiredsignals.com or on Facebook and Instagram at Inspired Signals or Inspired Signals Studio.
Yeah, and that's your art stuff. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And I'm gonna have some new workshops coming up in the fall, continuing the artistic alchemy vibe.
Yes.
Yeah, so good. Art can do so many things for your mental wellness. It is a life changer.
Yeah,
I love it. And who doesn't want to have some fun?
I do.
Create with like-minded people. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it's always a good
sign
time.
me up. You know.
Yeah. So anyway, we will see you next week and face some more shadows.
All right. See you guys next week.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.